Hi everybody, my name is Asano Muya. On this my topic, I'm going to talk about fire and the method of fire extinguishment. So basically, I'm going to explain the different classifications of fire and how we can do to understand which are the causes of fire and the level of fire, which one we supposed to attack and which one we have to call our emergency system, or which one we have to directly use the evacuation procedures. I'm going to talk about classification of fire and the method of fire extinguishing. There are five types of classification of fire. I'm going to talk about the five classes of fire. The one is called class A. Class A, which is one, is a designation symbol is a green triangle. Ordinarily, combustible material such as wood, cloth, paper, rubber, and different types of plastics. They can burn with an ember and leaves and ash extinguisher by cooling the fuel to the temperature that is below. The ignition or temperature, water and other extinguisher agents are effective. This simply means that in class A fire, which like a paper, wood and cloth, it can be used you can use extinguisher to eradicate this water. An easy way to remember this type of class A fire is ash. I'm going to talk about class B, which is the second one. The designation of this symbol of class A fire is red square. Fire involves flammable liquid and combustible liquid, all like petrol, base products, solvents, paint and chemical, flammable gas, flammable liquid do not ignite in their liquid state. Rather, it is the gas being generated by this liquid that ignites. The mixture of oxygen and flammable vapor is probably proportion needed only to ignite the sources of fire. So class A fire, these are like petroleum and solvent chemical. Like if you put like a fire, like lighter or matches, before it can catches fire. So these are the class B type of fire. Then you have the class C fire. The class C fire symbol is blue color. This type of fire involve the electrical equipment, like electrical equipment. These are the fire that electrical equipment they produce. Let's say like a spark, Then this one can also be wiped by the extinguisher. This type of fire, that is the class C fire, this require the use of extinguisher agents or extinguisher that will not conduct electricity back to the firefighter. Electricity is an energy source and an ignition source, but it will not burn by itself. Instead, the live's electrical equipment may serve as a source of ignition. For class A fire, such as installations or parking, and C class, the B class is fire. So this one class C is talking about like appliance, electrical appliance, Then the class D fire, these are designation symbol. It's yellow in color, right? It's yellow in color. It involves the combustible metal, such as magnesium, potassium, zirconium, sodium, lithium, potassium. Most of the cars contain short numerous metal in class D fire. Due to an externally heat or high flammable temperature, water can breakdown in hydrogen and oxygen and enhance burning or explode. Extinguisher with special powder based on sodium chloride or other salts because they absorb the heat and smoothen the flame by cutting of oxygen. In some cases, even clear or dry sand can be used. That is the class D fire. Class D fire is like you have a vehicle. The fire that normally comes out from a vehicle if there is an incident. So these are types of class D fire because these are mental fire that come from a mental, Then we're talking about the K class fire. Their symbol is black oxygen. Fire involve cooker appliance due to combustible cooking media such as vegetable oil or animal fat. This type of fire requires special agents such as wet chemical. You can use wet chemical to stop the class K fire. This type of fire requires agents such as chemical extinguisher system that are alkaline in nature and has a superior cold capability. This enter the mass of the cooker and medium in deeper fat fryer must be secure, and a cooker below it automatically ignites points in order to achieve the complete extinguishment. So like the class K fire is black in color, right? These are fire that are ignite from like cooking appliance like a gas cooker, So what you use to eradicate this fire is by using an extinguisher called the alkaline, Then the LPG gas also. This one also the smell of this LPG gas can also notice when it's leak. So you can use the K also to stop this fire. Then I'm going to talk about method of fire extinguishment. What are the method of fire extinguishment? There are different methods to extinguish fire. That means extinguish means to stop fire, to eradicate fire. The method often involve the removal of heat by cooling the burning material and cutting off the fuel in the air and adding chemical into it. So this simply means that when fire occurs, where there is a wind is blowing, that oxygen is what make the fire to keep on progressing. So what this extinguisher do, it stop the oxygen, the chemical of the extinguisher, it stop the oxygen. So immediately the fire will stop. So these are the methods of fire extinguishing, right? So I'm going to talk about method of fire extinguish also. You have number 1. I'm going to measure about how many points. I'm going to measure 4 points of extinguishment, fire extinguishment. Like number 1 is called cooling, removal of heat. In order to remove the heat, something must be applied to the fire to absorb the heat and act as heat exchanger. Water is not the only agent used to accomplish this, but it is the most common. You can also, number 1, you have cooling system. You can also use the water and other quick chemical to stop fire. Then we're talking about smoking, right? That is number 2, smoking. This excluding oxygen from the fire. Oxygen as it exists in the atmosphere is 21%. Is sufficient to support the combustion in most of the fire situation. Removal of this oxygen can be accomplished by a separate. It is from the fuel sources or by the display its width and insert of gas. For example, like if you use the foam or a flammable liquid in this gas to stop it, then in this you can also use blankets. They have one blanket also, it's for fire. Then like agents such as CO2, nitrogen can also use in this type of to stop this fire. Then we're talking about another method 3. Method 3 in to stop fire is starvation. We call it starvation. Starvation simply means that by removing the fuel from the fire. That simply means that under many circumstances, it is not particularly to attempt to remove the fuel from the fire. When dealing with a flammable liquid or fire, waves can be shut off, and storage vessel like pump to serve area, because it will help to eliminate the supply of fuel to the fire. That means anything that can create fire, like a cloth or other things that are around, you try to remove them so it can stop the process of the fire. Then we're talking about the fourth step, which is inhabit of chemical reaction, that's using flammable inhibitor. Flammable inhibitor are substances that are chemical react with a burning material or extinguisher. The flammable dry chemical or fire extinguisher work in this way and can be contain monomethylene sulfate and potassium chloride and sodium and potassium bicarbonate. This vapor that the gas it remove or the liquid, such as halon, also have a flammable inhibitant action. However, most of these substances have been phased out due to high level of toxic. Then, in using this fire extinguisher, you have to keep distance from the fire. You have to keep distance. In my next topic, I'm going to talk about the portable fire extinguisher.